to the unofficial Disney Tonight Show podcast. If there's one thing this world definitely does not have enough of, it's podcasts. So into the breach steps comedian David Studebaker and his zany band of sidekicks to bring you a multimedia experience unlike anything the world has ever seen.
Please welcome Mr. David Studebaker! Woo!
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Creviston. Thank you, those who are listening and watching and all of the above. James is our announcer. I hope you listened to our trailer. You will have heard about James. He's amazing. He's a dear friend. He's a comedian, a screenwriter, a host, a podcaster. He actually, I think he has the record for most podcasts of any human being. I think in the history, like, because you have the Clean Comedy Podcast, the Comedypreneur Show, the Dirty Comedy Podcast, the Dirty Comedypreneur Show, Australians yelling about politics. That's one of them too. He's got all your podcasting. The only thing you didn't have is Disney, and now you have Disney. So thank you, James. So basically, I'm going to bring on each of my beloved team members. So before our live show, you can get to know them beyond the few things I said about them in the trailer. So we'll start, since James is already here, we'll start with James. So we'll get to the career stuff, the screenwriting, all that. But James, just in general, is a very impressive man. He has an MBA, so there's that. And he is a naval veteran. You served in Iraq, I believe, or Afghanistan, or both, or I know there's a big ocean that goes right over the top of Afghanistan. So you were sailing down the canals of Kabul.
They would probably love water there. That's 2 tours of the Persian Gulf, one pre 9/11, one post 9/11.
There you go. So, genuine American hero. And James is on YouTube, just like this. He's on YouTube with the various preneurs, and he's very prolific. Every time I log into YouTube, there's a new Creviston looking at me, telling me how to turn my funny into money. So he's an impressive man. And then James also is an amazing screenwriter, and he makes good money. I'm not going to say how much because I'm not going to mess with his tax bracket. But he makes good money writing scripts. Some of it, his name is on it. Some of it, rich people pay him to write stuff for them, and then they put their name at the top, and they get fame and fortune.
Technically, I write their name on there for him.
You include that in the package. But my favorite thing right now, if you want to tell them a little bit, you are the king of Ghana streaming television.
Yeah, so it's Ghana. There is a web series on Amazon that I've been writing for. It's the original episodes I didn't write, but the new series that's coming I did write, and it's actually it's growing and getting a lot of subscribers over there. So. Written here, made there. So
yeah. And are you credited on that show, or are they?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, awesome. Oh, great. Yeah. So, and apparently there is a burgeoning film industry in Ghana. So, and doesn't the guy who do it, doesn't he own malls or something? He's a mogul there.
No. I mean, he owns some stuff, but he also bought a mall to be able to shoot different things. So he basically turned the mall into a production studio.
That's awesome.
So that they can shoot whatever they want. But then also the idea was, and we'll do it hopefully eventually, is to shoot a version of basically Die Hard in a mall that they have and do a film like that. So we'll see. We'll see if that works out. It hasn't.
So just so everyone knows, we have the king of Ghana television here, James Creviston. So very exciting. The thing with James, I feel and correct me if I'm wrong, you're a big Disney fan, but the stuff that Disney bought in the last 15 years. So you're a big Marvel and Star Wars and comic book guy. I know you like Disney stuff, but I'm more of a Disney animation nerd, Are you you're more the Star Wars and the Pixar, right?
I'm more Star Wars and MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I grew up on comic books and Star Wars, but
You notice how you notice how he said MCU? That's how you know he's got it. That's how.
but I am a big fan of a few of the animated stuff. So I am a big Toy Story fan. I love Toy Story. I am not a fan of Beauty of the and the Beast, but I am a fan of Gaston for Beauty and the Beast. And just like many people argue that Daniel LaRusso was the real bully in Karate Kid, I argue that Gaston was the real hero of Beauty and the Beast, and the Beast was the real villain of that film.
and let me just say, this podcast could so quickly devolve into James and I arguing about things, like, because Beauty and the Beast is like one of my all-time favorite films, and I completely disagree. But like, there's so many of those things where we won't do that. We won't subject the audience to what, like, when we're on the road doing shows or filming stuff, like, a lot of the travel is James and James and I going back and forth on that. So we will save the audience that. But James,
we should do a poll though. Who thinks?
Yeah, thank you for doing that. That's one thing for the live shows. If you come to the live shows, so our next one is Saturday, January 16th at 7 p.m. You can register DisneyTonightShow.com. But if you come through Zoom, we can do live polls. We will throw that. And actually, you know what? Luke, you have a pen and paper? We got to write that down. That's going on the poll, like right off the bat. Is Gaston the real hero? And do you hate Beauty and the Beast?
No, I didn't say I hated Beauty and the Beast. That's not what I said.
You just don't. You just don't like people's belief that Gaston is the bad guy.
Yes, agree.
Okay.
He's been put in as one of the Disney villains, and I don't feel like that's fair. So I feel like he is not a real villain.
That's fair. I don't want to straw man you.
But also, here's the funny part: is if he is a villain, he is the only villain to have his own land or own setup at any of the Disneys, because there is Gaston's Tavern.
Gaston's Tavern. That is true.
That is very odd that you would give a villain their own place, right? No one else has it.
That is true.
That's all I'm saying.
It's a strong take. It's a strong take. It's valid, and we'll talk. We'll put that next episode. Come back next time for we're gonna let the people decide. James has also been behind the scenes for many of the David's Ark episodes. He's done a variety of things. He'll be a cameraman some of the time. He'll carry 50,000 pounds of equipment and my purse while we're filming. He's done a lot of different stuff. And we've had some crazy adventures, which we'll bring up a couple of the really crazy ones. But before I do that, that's the perfect segue to bring on my co-host and executive producer of the show, Luke LaCoy. Fun fact, the reason why I'm here with Luke, I love being here with Luke, but this was supposed to be all done remotely. A few hours before we were going to record this, my entire internet shut down. My modem broke and AT&T couldn't do anything. So I am here with Luke. Yeah, how do you want to do this, Luke? Do you want to just hop in? You want to come a little closer? Or because we got to be... Oh, there he is.
This is clearly meant to be tonight with all the difficulties that happened. So.
This is it's been quite a ride. Ow! Oh my God! I just destroyed my finger. Okay. Doing it live, baby. Okay. So before we get into the David's Ark adventures, Luke, how shall we introduce my dear Luke? So first of all, Luke's like the nicest guy in the entire He's Canadian. So my theory is, I don't know if Luke's like the nicest American and maybe he's like the meanest Canadian. Like maybe in Canada, Luke's like a total jerk. But here it's like he's the nicest guy in the world. When James isn't there for the episodes, all the different things James has to do gets put on Luke as well. So if you go to the website, Disney Tonight Show, click on Meet the Team, you'll see Luke in all of his glory with about 8 backpacks on, 19 wires, 2 monitors, a camera, sound equipment all at once. So he's a stand-up comedian, former environmental engineer, now videographer, photographer. Luke, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
Saying hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Yeah. Now, one thing about Luke is No one I've ever met gets themselves into more crazy, awkward predicaments than Luke. That's going to be a common theme throughout this show, are just stories of Luke. Each episode, there's going to be another Luke story. Luke, right? Don't forget to do when you had to. Your boss made you do stand up at work that one time. And don't forget that one. My favorite Luke story in terms of Disney, because Luke's a big Disney fan. Before I knew Luke in his early 20s, he went to Disneyland on his birthday. Now, the first thing that happened, I'll let you tell the segment. I gotta say, because it just makes me laugh so much, especially as a Star Wars fan. For the listening audience, I'm wearing a Grogu t-shirt. Luke went on his birthday, and on the pin, if you don't know, at Disneyland, if you get a pin, you go to the city hall, they give you a pin, it says happy birthday, they write your name, and then the cast members have to say, happy birthday, so-and-so. Luke, being a Star Wars fan, and his name's Luke, he had them write Luke Skywalker. Problem is, the guy writing it had bad handwriting, and it looked like Sky Whaler. So everywhere Luke would go, the cast members were like, "Hey, Sky Whaler, how you doing? Good to see you." So, and I don't know if they were just like roasting you, or if they actually thought
I mean, it was pretty deliberate that they wrote it that way. So
yeah. So you think the guy was a real jerk, the guy in City Hall. But that's just the appetizer. Let's get to the main course. Luke, take it away.
Okay, so I was with a friend too that night, because who wants to go to Disneyland alone on their birthday? So we were there together. We got to ride a bunch of rides, and then I booked us sort of a fancy-ish dinner because hey, it's birthday night with my work buddy. Let's do it up. And so I did Carthay Circle, booked us dinner at Carthay Circle. And, it's a nice kind of like, it can be romantic, but I wasn't trying to do that with him, obviously. But we booked the dinner, and then, they have these like jalapeno cheese balls, which are an amazing appetizer. And it turned out that my coworker was lactose intolerant. And so we're going to town on these jalapeno cheese balls. And it hits him hard. And he disappears. And at the same time he's walking away, the waiter brings a little birthday cupcake with a candle, and he sets it in front of me. And he puts it down, and then he's just like kind of staring at me, like it hit him, like, "Oh, you're here alone." And then he's like, do you want me to sing for you? And I'm just like...
And you have a whole restaurant of people just looking at you like, this poor sap, he's alone on his birthday, and then the guy's singing to him. So, David's Ark, first of all, if anyone's interested, it is on YouTube, and then clips of it are on TikTok. It's a docuseries where we highlight places that help animals in the environment. It's funny, it's heartwarming, it's wonderful. So, we won some awards. Now, in film festivals, there's a variety of types of film festivals, and they're not all created equally. And it's interesting because sometimes a smaller film festival can be more enjoyable than a bigger festival. I'll give you an example. So our first cool film festival, it was just Luke and I for it. It was the Oregon Documentary Film Festival. Where I won Best Director for our episode for the Marine Mammal Center. That's our best episode, is that one. So everything was great about that, but most of our adventures really revolve around the hotels that we stay at, because we ain't dripping in money, so we got to be thrifty. So for Portland, I was like, wow, I got a great deal. It was crazy, the deal I got at this Holiday Inn Express, which is the Ritz-Carlton of the working man. So I was like, this is great. Like, it is right by the airport because we were flying in. Super wonderful. We get there, and we got in late. It was like, I think it was like midnight by the time we got in. And everything in the room was moist, especially the carpets. And I don't know if, because I know Portland, everything's moist in Portland in general. So I don't know if that was to make the locals feel at home or something. But we go in,
Portland, we're gonna spray you down.
Yeah. So and I don't know, maybe they just cleaned the carpets or something. But I figured it would dry, and plus it was midnight, so we didn't want to go down and switch into another room. So, but it just wouldn't dry, and it was one of those things where I'd get up in the middle of the night to go pee, and I'd have my socks on, and by the time I walk to the bathroom, my socks are dripping wet, and that's my least favorite feeling in the entire world is the dripping wet socks. So I went through like all my socks that first night. Yeah.
You've grossed me out now. I am grossed out.
Yeah,
That's
right?
gross.
I know. Oh, and then, sorry, I forgot. For some reason, our hotel room was positioned, at this parking spot was positioned at our window, and they didn't have like the blackout drapes. And at 4 a.m., someone just gets into a car right in front of our window and turns their high beams on, and they're just flare and I was close to the window, so like I literally felt like it was a UFO abduction happening in this room. Like, you know those big truck high beams? Like, it was like, and he was just like sitting there with the lights on for like 2 hours. And it was deceiving too, because the lobby was nice. Like, the lobby genuinely is spectacular. And then, yeah, the room was very wet.
Well, on top of that, too, you just had your stitches in your head.
Oh,
too.
that's right. I just had skin cancer. I had like pretty bad skin cancer on my scalp. That's right. Yeah, Luke, I totally forgot. So like Luke had to, because I couldn't change my shirt, because you had to like for like a month I had to wear like the dressings. So poor Luke, I should add that to the job description. He also he had to like cleanse and put bandages on my head wound. I don't know if we can see it. It's kind of covered up, but the hair's growing over it now. But yeah, it was like it was like the wound was like 6 inches. It was like bad. So that was fun. But now we're going to bring in James because, and don't worry, we do have 2 more producers coming on very soon. We'll transition quickly, but we got to tell this story. We went to a film festival in New Jersey. It's what was it called?
Golden Door
Film Festival. So it's a really big film festival. It's on the top 100 list of film festivals. So it's a big deal. We got an Airbnb in Jersey City because that's where it was, and it was a good price. And like right off the bat, it was just like we get in and we got in again at midnight, and James was smart. He asked the Lyft driver like, "Hey, is this safe to walk around at night?" Because it didn't seem super safe. And the guy's like, "Do not leave your house when the sun goes down. Stay inside." So that was comforting right off the bat. And then we get in there. But my favorite part, and I'll let you guys jump in, but my favorite part is that spontaneously throughout the trip, paintings and pictures on the wall would just fall. They would just fall, and it's hardwood, so just fall and crash like all throughout the night. And then
randomly, just random
time. Yeah, like it was haunted.
Room.
Yeah, like there would be no reason for no one brushed against it. It was just bam. Yeah. So and then like they had Luke tell the floorboard.
Yeah. So carpet. Like I think they were remodeling some of it because in my room, which had I think like 2 bunk beds.
You had a bunk bed, yeah.
Yeah. So I had like floorboards like paneling over the carpet. And the floorboards were like so thick that I couldn't even shut my doors. It was blocked by the floorboards, which were like all uneven.
Yeah, because it was like really
hall.
thick, spongy carpet, and then like they wanted to replace with hardwood, but they just went and bought like cheap wooden paneling and just laid it on top of that. So yeah, it was a very spongy walk. Luke was on one side of the house. James and I were on the other side, and one of the last nights we were there. At like 3 a.m., someone just starts playing the loudest house music. Like our house was shaking, and it went on through the whole night. And I know at one point, because James is a heavy sleeper, so the fact that it kept James up, like you know, I'm like a light sleeper. I'm a diva, which is shocking to everyone listening. So. At a certain point, I just like cut bait and I went out and slept on the really uncomfortable couch in the living room, and it was like vibrating me as I'm trying to sleep. But James, what was your experience like in that room?
What's funny is in that house there was no central AC. There was these like little air conditioning units in your room. So I would turn mine all the way to like the coldest setting, right? I love sleeping cold, but like even that, like when you heard it was like think of like a white noise machine. It was supposed to be like that. No, it was not like that. It was like Jersey Shore was happening right in my room with the AC on, I was waiting for people to start dancing in my room, like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Hey, but that's not, I'm like, what is going on? And then because the guy said don't venture out at night, I'm not going to go out and like.
No, exactly. I think, James,
say-
didn't you and I that night talk about that? Because we were like, because number one,
We should go
we
say
would have
something.
had to walk outside to find out which house it was. And I mean, normally, like, you and I would have just gone and knocked on the door and just been like, can you guys shut up? But, like, after hearing, like, oh, we might get shot, you know, and don't even go outside. Like, I didn't want to go outside to investigate where it was. So, yeah, we just had to take an L on that one. But yeah, I mean, but the funny thing is, ironically, like, and then the film festival. So we didn't get to the film festival. So this is where the big festivals can not be fun. So the trip itself was amazing because we intentionally, like, we had a feeling you never know at the festival, so we just like did a ton of really awesome New York stuff around it. So it really was an incredible trip. But the festival itself, it was like, it's big nationally, but like it was very much a clique of like Jersey film scene. So we went to their big opening gala, and it was gorgeous. It was in this big old theater. It was opulent. It was beautiful. It was packed, and they had free Vita Coco and food and all that. But then, like, we walk around, and like literally the most interaction I had the whole time is some guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, you look like Aaron Paul," and then he walked away. And that was like that was our networking for the whole time. We just like the rest. We just kind of stood around. But the coup de grace was a few nights later was our screening. And we go, because there was the big festivals, they have, you know, screening areas all over the city. So we go in, and how it was shown to me is there was this big, beautiful room with a giant screen, and it was really cool. And we go there, and we get in, and we're like, oh, you know, in the big room, there's only like maybe 30 people there. We're like, oh, that's not a great turnout. And we're like, so we go, and we're like, hey, you know, we're David's Ark, we're here. And they're like, oh, you're in that room. And so they point us, and we go into, we get shuttled into this really small room that seats maybe like 30 people. There were 11 people there. None of them really got any of our jokes in the show. And their screen, there wasn't a guy controlling it. It was all done remotely for the whole festival. And whoever had set up the projector in that room had bumped the exposure up to 1,000. So our episode, because a lot of the other ones in our section were like really depressing, dark, moody short films, and then I'm like, hey, let me be funny around dogs. But like literally the most depressing films I've ever seen. But they were all shot very dark, so when the exposure was bumped up, it still looked a little bright, but it looked fine. I looked like I was on the sun. I was like, I was glowing. I was like pulsating and glowing. So like we looked terrible on screen, and no one was laughing in there. I think we got like 3 chuckles. So yeah, so that was. We'll have more stories like that. We can go on and on, but we'll keep it rolling. Before I bring on your next 2 producers, so when the shutdown happened, Luke said, hey, you know, we should maybe think about being on TikTok. And I'm an old man. I don't know this stuff. I just thought TikTok was booty videos. I thought it was just, you know, you dance and shake it, and Jack Black did the thing. And so I didn't know, but Luke's like, no, you know, you should really give it a try. So what we did is we couldn't shoot any more David's Ark stuff, so we just started taking stand-up bits of mine and David's Ark clips, chopping them up into little bite-sized versions and putting them on there. And it turns out, I love TikTok. It was great. A lot of people enjoyed our stuff. In a few months, we had combined for just our David's Ark videos over 2 million views, and continuing to grow. It's so funny, too, because things, you never know with life. So Luke and I, we started shooting David's Ark just over 3 years ago. And the first thing we did was like a little test episode where we went to a Santa Claus themed theme park, and I just acted like I thought I had come to the North Pole, and I was really disturbed because it's like 70 degrees and sunny in the winter. And so I was kind of going around just being weird at this theme park. But the most amazing TikTok thing was there's a thing where they would dress up like Disneyland. They'd be in like costumes. So one of them was Santa's wolf dog hybrid, and it's a guy in a costume with like a dog. So I came up I saw him. I came up. I was like, "Hey, you know, are you?" Because I interview people, man, on the street stuff. So like, are you a dog or a wolf or what are you? So we start, you know, doing it. And kind of my signature thing is when I do those shows and when I even with my stand-up, I try to be very kind to people. So I just kind of good-naturedly had fun with the dog. So that was like the last video of the Santa's Village stuff we put on TikTok. I didn't even think it was going to do anything. So I posted it, and over the course of the next few days, I didn't know there's something called a furry on TikTok. And it's like a subculture where people dress up in costumes like and they're called a furry, but they dress up like foxes or dogs, and they wear the dog hat or the fox hat. And apparently it's very polarizing. Like there's people who hate the furries and the furries. But basically people were commenting like, kill the furries. And I didn't know what they were talking about. And then people were like, no, furries are great. And this argument started on this video. But then the like a ton of comments started going of like, to me, like, thank you so much. People are so mean to furries, and you were so kind to that furry. We love you. And I jumped up like 1,400 followers, and they're all furries. They're all furry followers. So I love my furries. But that was something where I was like, I didn't even know existed. So our next producer is she's not a furry. I'll say that. No, but she's super amazing and awesome. But again, this is something where it's like, this is how wonderful TikTok is. And I'll let her explain it, but basically she does videos, like comedy videos, where she wears a Mandalorian helmet, but then she just has like normal clothes on. And like, she's bigger than I am on TikTok. She's got, tens of thousands of followers. And so, it's awesome. Like, it's genuinely great. Her handle is Hello There Mando. And so we kind of met through TikTok, and then we started doing Disney trivia live streams on TikTok. So we brought her on. We become friends. So we're gonna bring on Hello There Mando. We're gonna thank you for being here. Did I get everything right? Did I capture your essence properly?
Perfectly.
So my favorite thing about Mando also is that not only does she do all that great stuff, she also is from New York. So like, there's nothing more wonderful than like, and some of her videos, she'll have like a dress on. So it's just nothing more wonderful than just like, she's got a New York accent, she's got the Mando helmet, she's got a dress. Like, that's just a winning combination right there. I feel like your experience with TikTok was somewhat similar to mine, where like, you just kind of did this as a lark, and then like, it took off. And yeah, take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, it was exactly like that. The whole quarantine happened. I was just ending my spring semester in college, and I was like, I had been on TikTok since December, so I was like, this is a cool app, My sisters are the ones who got me into it, so I have them to thank for putting me on the app. And I saw this, they had like an amazing Star Wars community, and I was like, I want to be a part of this. It looks so cool, but I was afraid that people I knew in my town would know me and be like, look how lame she is or whatever. So around this whole time I'm contemplating it, I got my beautiful helmet. And I was like, this is the best opportunity. I was originally going to try and do an Obi-Wan, like a woman Obi-Wan cosplay. So that's how I got the Hello There in my name. And then I changed, it was originally Hello There Kenobi. And once I got my helmet, I was like, this is what I'm doing. I changed it to Hello There Mando. And hence I was born. I went through like, I'd say about like 50 different outfits before I settled on this black shirt with the cape.
Yeah, and I do like the variety, because your wardrobe it varies. So you'll have the cape, you'll have a dress. For Christmas, you had a Christmas sweater, and then the other thing that, again, the coup de grace, the best touch of all, is that in addition to being a bounty hunter, you also like have just perfect nails. Like, your nails always change colors, and they're like Christmas. You had like the alternating green and red, and it's just a wonderful touch.
Yeah, I always like, I love Star Wars, but I love putting like a feminine touch, especially on like Boba Fett, who's seen more as like a very harsh bounty hunter who's very serious. I thought I would bring a lot of light to the character, especially with the dress. I remember the first time I posted my first video with the dress, I was terrified. Oh my God, I checked my phone every 2 seconds. I was terrified that somebody was going to be like, you're disrespecting Boba Fett, get that dress off.
Yeah, no, your fears
I'm
are founded because as I saw with the furries, you never know with social media how people can be offended or angry. So sorry, continue. But yes, I know what you're talking about.
It was like so weird because I posted that video and now every person I have ever talked to outside of TikTok has told me that this outfit, they throw it away. I only like the one with you in the dress. Like that is my favorite one of you.
That's
The
funny.
little dress that actually from my graduation. I
You know
just
what's
threw
funny?
it away in my closet.
You know what's funny about that? I was just thinking. I don't remember when it was, but I was just thinking. I was like, you know what? I'll bet that dress is like something that you had from like prom or something else, where you're like, man, I spent all that money on that dress. Like, I got to put that to good use somehow. And then so it's like that. That's how it was put to good use.
Exactly. I really didn't think I was going to use the dress that much. I thought I would do it for like 1 or 2 videos and then I go back to this. But every single video I started posting with it, everybody started freaking out. Like, that's my favorite video of you.
That's awesome. So your identity is hidden. You are. This is the way you are. Not revealed. You'll come for us if we reveal you. It'll be so. But it's hard. I gotta say, yeah. She's got the laser gun out. Okay. So, she's got 2. Okay. Hands are up. So, but I will say it's hard for me not to, because I know your real name, and you have such an amazing real name. Like, that is such a great name. Can you just give props to your mom? Because that name, like, it rolls off the tongue. It's like a great Italian last name. Yeah, Luke's giving the thumbs up. It's a great name. So, and even like
Giuseppe Gelato, great.
Yeah. No, that is not. So you're originally from New York, but you live in Florida now.
Yes.
And which probably has got to be a lot of good bounty hunting in Florida.
There is a lot of great bounty hunting in Florida.
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff.
Really good.
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff there. Can you just tell us like one great Florida story, one weird great Florida story?
The best Florida story for you. So I was in the supermarket. I was in Walmart, which is in Florida. It's like a no. Like, you should not go to Walmart. And where I live, especially, there is particularly a lot of old people. So we're going through the store. Me and my sisters, and we go down this one aisle, and there is this like really old man with a ponytail down to his hip. But that wasn't the crazy part. The crazy part was he was in a leotard, like full-on leotard, like he was going to gymnastics or something. I mean, me and my sisters, we just froze. Like, I don't know what that man must have thought, but we just froze, and we turned out the aisle and just left the store. We didn't even continue our shopping after that.
You just pulled the ripcord. You're like, we're out. Wasn't there like a gator in your lunchroom or something at your college?
Yes. So where I go to college, there was this big lake, like right by the cafeteria. So I had a break between classes, and I really quickly just started doing some homework there. They have a really nice setup. And all of a sudden, I just hear everybody start screaming and running to the opposite side of the lunchroom. I was like, what now? You know what I mean? My college, just so many crazy things happen. So I was like, oh my God, what's happening now? And I go over to the front door of it, and there's this huge alligator just sitting right in front of it. And it's like it's like one of those automatic doors. So he can come in at any moment. We didn't know what the hell to do. We were just sitting there looking at the alligator, and he was just sunbathing. He was having a good time.
That, you know what I like? I like that in that moment where everyone is terrified, running the opposite direction. You're calmly just, let me go check that out. I wonder what's happening over there. Let's go. I'm a Mandalorian. I'm not afraid. Let me investigate.
I think I know what part of Florida Mando is from. Boba Raton.
Oh, baby. Hello. Oh, man. Woo, 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 woo. The Zoom is canceling out the sound, but rest assured, Mando is she's either laughing or crying.
All right, Mando, since you're a Star Wars fan, answer this question. Who shot first?
Oh my God. If anyone says Greedo, they're an idiot. It's definitely Han Solo shot first, and then they edit it to make it they both shot at the same time. But we all know who really did.
Well, you've passed the James test. You definitely flying colors on that one. A friendship has born today. Luke, do you have a question for Mando?
Here we go. Do you have a lot of weird looks when you're out shopping at Walmart with the helmet on, or does it?
Oh my God, I've always wanted to do it. I've always seen people go out and actually shop with the helmet on and everything. I'm afraid to be shot in Florida.
You know what you should do is try to somehow install a GoPro inside the helmet, and you can just like film all the crazy stuff you're seeing. Or exactly up there. Yeah, our next producer, his claim to fame, which I mentioned in the trailer, he drew these. I'm a huge Splash Mountain fan. He drew an exact replica of Splash Mountain on the toe box, and then the bear on the other toe box. It's up there. It's on the Instagram. You should check it out, or just watch the YouTube version of our trailer. It's amazing. But he's also a talented filmmaker, and he's the most recent grand champion of our Disney trivia live streams on TikTok. Because Mando has come in second, like every single you've had like 19 second. Like we ran out of prizes for Mando because she had gotten all of the she got the money prize the first time. She got the loans. I had to like start making up prizes. I started just sending her all the like David's Ark souvenirs I had just to like get her something for winning. But Jake was the most recent winner. So without further ado, Jake Taylor, my guy Jake Taylor. Let's see. He should pop up. And we lost him. Okay, Zoom. There's Zoom. We're getting he's muted and there he is. Oh, there he is.
There we go.
Oh, I thought he quit. I thought for a second, he's like, well, this went too long. How long did he make me wait here? I mean, I get it. Like, well, here's the thing, Jake. In comedy, the guy who goes on last is considered the headliner. So give it up for the headliner of this wonderful Meet the Team episode. For the people at home, unless they're in Southern California, they're not going to really know what I mean when I say Jake lives in Temecula. So, just being honest. But here's the thing. But really, why I say that is that my wife's aunt lives in, now she's in Murrieta now, but she was in Temecula forever. And the first time we went and visited her, we came from LA. Now, if you're at home, if you want to Google this, you can look at where Temecula is on a map. It's technically not that far from LA, but when there's traffic, I swear I took 14 freeways to get to. Like there was like 9, like so many different interchanges, and it was like I'm on the 210, and then I'm on the 10, and then I'm on like a 17 and a half, and I'm on like a 1982, and then I'm back on the 10.
It's funny you say that it's not super well known outside of California, because I technically don't live in Temecula. I live in Menifee, which is like even smaller than Temecula.
Yeah, that's a good point, because there are like around Temecula is like the big city. That's and then around Temecula, there's like all these other little mini, like Murrieta and
right mini Temeculas, but
there's like mini Temeculas within the Temecula.
But you said Temecula like it was an insult. That's
no. Hey, listen, I'm not trying to insult.
You know where he's from? He's from Temecula. Okay?
Don't at me, people of Temecula. Mando's snapping for the podcast. She's giving a very sassy snap for the listeners. So here's the thing. I love Temecula. It's beautiful. I just said it. It's beautiful. Like if you go, it's gorgeous. Like the downtown, like there's all these nice restaurants, and it's beautiful. I only said it the way I said it because I'm from Northern California. So when my wife first said, "Yeah, my aunt lives in Temecula," I was like, what's a Temecula? I don't know what that is. And then when we were driving there, I was like, I've just never taken so many freeways on an hour and a half drive. It's just so many, like, yeah. So let me be clear. Let the record state, I have nothing against the people of Temecula. Oh, yeah. Luke, jump in here. One of the reasons why Luke's a former environmental engineer is he used to do that drive from, like, basically Disneyland area all the way out past Temecula sometimes.
Well, from Seal Beach to Lake Paris on the daily.
Whatever you consider to be an hour-long drive, add 4 more hours with all the different traffic. Because each of those freeways that he had to get on is its own hellscape of traffic.
So that was 2 years of my life, so...
Yeah. So, and that's why he's gone. So, and then also Jake, adorable couple. His girlfriend Sammy. She's on TikTok. She's great. They're just America's couple there with their matching Disney shoes. And but Jake, you're a talented young filmmaker. Jake is doing all of our graphics. So all of our flyers and logos and all that jazz. He's got to deal with a lot of me going, could we move the letter just half a centimeter up? Can we try that? And then he does, and I go, you know what? Let's move it back down. Okay, let's do. So there's a lot of that at 2 a.m. that he puts up with.
When you bring up Sammy, it makes me realize that before I met her, I was like a Disney fan, but I wasn't as into it as I am now. Because when I met her, she told me how much she loves Disneyland, the movies and everything, and I'm like, man, that's actually, yeah, I remember how great those were. So
Mickey was there inside of you. It just, you needed the right person. It's a beautiful. Mando's melting over there. Mando, do you have something to say? You're melting.
That is so cute.
We also got into pin collecting. She introduced me to that. So every time we go to downtown Disney, we go to the trading hut or whatever it is, and we buy as many as we can, and then that sprouted into Pokemon cards. So now that's our new addiction.
Look, James, Luke's giving you a big thumbs up. Luke's grabbing a prop. Here it comes. Wait for it, Luke. Luke's got a binder. You guys can compare binders.
Psyduck.
Oh yeah, look at this. Luke is flexing.
Yes.
Look at the flex.
Yes.
Base set
unlimited. Hello.
Do you have the Charizard though?
He sold his Charizard on eBay.
No kidding.
I do you know what? Like 3 months ago, I sent a Charizard, a Venusaur, and first edition Machamp to Beckett to get it graded. And I'm like, I don't even know where it is anymore. It got delivered, and this is 3 months later. I'm still waiting to get like my confirmation.
Yeah, Mando's got the laser gun. Mando's going in.
So I used to. It's
wow.
Hopefully I'll get it.
I didn't realize we'd be laying out a controversy here. Luke has been defrauded. We need litigation. I don't know. Do we have any lawyers on the team?
I got it. I'll handle it.
Yeah, Amanda's going to do some laser gun litigation. She's going to take care of that.
I want to know Jake's favorite fandom because I see a Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
poster.
of course.
As of now, Marvel. But I just bought right here. I bought the new Star Wars book, not sponsored.
Yes.
I have yet to read it. I have also yet to read David's book.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, well, thank you.
It's sitting on my shelf right now. It's waiting to be read. I was actually just talking about it today. I wanted to, because I'm gonna read yours before the Star Wars one.
Yes, thank you. I beat out the Star Wars book. Yes.
I'll make sure to do a 30-minute review on your book the next podcast after I finish.
I appreciate it. Now, one thing I'm going to be doing with our special guests for each of the live shows is I'll be pulling some of our Family Feud questions and asking them the same questions that I asked on there. And it's going to be similar to, I don't know if anyone used to watch the Inside the Actor's Studio, but at the end of each of those interviews, they would do the PIVO questions. So they'd ask, like, what's your favorite word? What turns you off? What don't you like? What's your favorite this? So we're going to do that. But Disney style. So we're gonna start that with the team, and we'll tell a good Luke story in the middle. So the first thing that we'll do to get the Luke story out there is I'm gonna ask each of you what you think is the most overrated Disney animated film. The most overrated Disney animated film. And Luke, you can go first since you're the one who blew it last time. Here, come on in there.
Do I get to change my answer, or do I have to stick with
you can tell your genuine answer, and then I'll tell the story of.
Okay, does this include Pixar?
No, Disney animated.
Okay. Oh, animated.
Yeah.
Disney. Okay, that's a lot of information right now.
He's had a couple head injuries today, so he's not fully here with us. There's actually some smelling salts under the mask to try to get him back, but
shoot, I forgot.
This is where we ran into problems.
It starts with fro and ends with zen.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll go around the horn real quick. James, what do you say?
No, I'm in agreement with that. Frozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mando?
I'm also in agreement. That was my choice.
Yes. Frozen's not a bad movie, but prior to seeing it, it was being touted publicly as the greatest movie of all time. It's just not. I will say, their marketing campaign for Frozen was outrageously good.
I was constantly hearing "Let It Go" like everywhere we went.
Yeah, that too. That was just mean. That was I know. I will say the one thing I'm thankful for with Frozen is that it gave us that moment at the Oscars with John Travolta saying the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem, and that was for Idina Menzel. That was worth all of the "Let It Go" being trapped in my head. I was talking to Luke, and I was going over the answers, and two people had said Snow White was the most overrated of all time. And and Luke was like, I cannot believe, it's like, because Snow White, that changed film. Now you can look back, well, it's not, super entertaining. You could say that, but that had never been. It revolutionized the film industry. It was the first, and it's incredible. So and Luke was genuinely offended, that someone would put that, and I'm like, yeah, who did that? And so I'm looking through the names. Luke was one of the people who listed Snow White as being the most overrated. Luke, and he wasn't even he wasn't joking geez, I can't believe. He was genuinely offended. Luke of that night was genuinely offended by Luke of 5 days prior. So
sometimes I offend myself.
There's a lot of personalities in here. You never know which one's at the helm.
Did you also ask the most underrated Disney animated film?
Yes. So what would you say is the most underrated Disney animated film?
Robin Hood by 100%. Oodalali.
There were a lot of Robin Hood answers. There were
I
a
love
lot
Robin
of
Hood.
Jake, what would you say?
I think I said Brother Bear, which I still stand by.
That's enough. You know what? I'm with you, Jay. I love Brother Bear. That is, and Phil Collins on Tina Turner on that one. That's Phil Collins is Tarzan, but Collins wrote the songs.
Yeah,
Phil Collins,
yeah.
He wrote the songs for Brother, but Tina Turner did the singing. But yeah, Brother Bear, very underrated. I agree with you. Mando, what did you say?
I said Tangled because Tangled got caught in Frozen shadow, so it never got the hype that it deserved. Honestly,
you know what? I'm with you 100%. Tangled was what I put because it's Tangled really is to me it's up there with all the other Disney princess films. It's hilarious, and the music's pretty solid. And it's just it's really, and then the lanterns. I mean, come on, when the lanterns are going up, oh man, that's just beautiful. So
I got Sammy one of those box lunch card holders of that shot from.
Oh, nice.
With the lanterns, because it's during the song "I See the Light," I think.
Yeah.
And she loves that song.
Oh,
so
what a sweet guy. What did I tell you guys? Adorable. America's couple. Total. I mean, Mando's melting again every time. You're just.
Oh my god. You're so cute.
Yeah, I know you guys are adorable. One of the questions was if you could go to Vegas with any Disney villain, who would it be? And Gaston, I would assume, would be your answer.
Gaston is not a villain, sir. Gaston is not a villain. He's the hero of the film. He's the hero.
He would go with Beast.
Hero.
I
I would not go with the Beast.
I was torn between Captain Hook, which I think was your answer,
Yeah.
and Jafar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jafar could be good. Could have some fun. Yeah. Luke, who was yours?
Randall from Monsters Inc.
And did we ever come back to you on your?
Wait, that's not a Disney. That's not an
Pixar.
animated Disney.
Come
That's
on.
Pixar,
You
man.
see what I mean? You
can't
see
do
what I
that.
mean with this guy? This is the judge. This was the guy. This is why I described him in the trailer as an anarchist judge. To me, Captain Hook is the best because
he'd probably be second for me. Yeah.
he's also like the thing with Hook is he's like the least dangerous.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I could almost take Captain. I mean, he gets beat up by a child, so like
That
I'm not
can
even
fly.
Yeah, well, true. He's got the hook, but like you're not afraid of him. And also he's got the big flowy costume, so like he's going to attract a lot of attention, and he's a big spender. He's got all the gold. And who doesn't want to go to Vegas with a pirate? I mean, come on. Like,
There you go.
So, do we have any final thoughts? Anything anyone wants to say that we missed?
Who else agrees that Gaston is a hero?
Okay, James. All right.
I'm so curious. What's your reason behind it?
Here we All right, I'm making the case for Gaston being a hero and Beast being the villain. The reason why is
boy.
Beast locked up Belle's dad. Then Beast locked up Belle. Then Beast assaulted Belle. Then Beast threw out everyone and was going to let everyone perish because he's a monster. Gaston went back to town and said, hey, there's a beast over there. They've got this old man. He's going crazy. Let's go rescue him. Now he's got the old man's daughter. She's going to be mangled by this beast. Let's go back and kill him. Gaston's a hero. Also, 3 women were in love with Gaston. 3. He didn't even look at him. He didn't even give him the time of day. He only wanted Belle. He was in love with her. He's the man. Hero.
He said to Belle to stop reading books. Though.
Okay, there you go, Mando. Thank you. There. Okay, all right. There we go. And let the record state also, not a lot of heroes tend to like literally knife someone in the back when they're not looking.
It's a monster. He's a monster. You can stab a monster wherever you stab a monster.
At that point in the film, it was clear that Belle was not buying what Gaston was selling.
No, Gaston is the hero. He
Did
went
you-
there to save Belle.
It's a fact.
We're gonna yeah. Thank you, Jake. This is the thing. James is very definitive on those opinions. It is the opinions are facts when you got James involved.
Misogynistic. Like,
Yeah, true.
Belle especially.
True.
Wait, what? I missed that, Mando. Say that again.
She said Gaston is misogynistic. Very true.
But
He
you have
doesn't
to
want
remember
Belle reading books.
the time period, though. Also, the time period of that story is very.
What are you like Gaston's lawyer? Like, are you on his legal team?
I would, and I would eat all the eggs, and then he would have none, and I'd be built like a house.
Stick out for Beast, but like Beast wasn't misogynistic. Well, I mean, never mind. I'm just
Yeah, no, he was a jerk too. The Beast was a jerk.
from the beginning, but he wasn't misogynistic though.
Yeah.
He wasn't like you can't read books because you're a woman.
But he was mean to the old lady, which is what got him turned into the Beast. So he was misogynistic.
But that's just being.
He would have been mean to the old lady regardless. I don't think he was mean to the old lady because she was a lady. I think he was just mean to her because he was mean.
Mean.
Yeah.
Gaston is into himself 100%. I'll give you that. And he is very much more interested in what's better for Gaston than what's better for Belle. I will give you that 1000%, right? I didn't say the relationship would work and that they should be married. Not at all. But Gaston is the hero of that story. He was trying to do right by the whole town. There's a monster there.
Your Honor, my client is innocent. He had no idea that they were in love. He didn't see them dancing. He didn't see teapots. He knew nothing. All he knew is this was a beast he wanted to knife in the back in cold blood as rain dripped down.
It had imprisoned Belle's father and it imprisoned Belle. It was a monster that needed to be stopped, Your Honor. A monster that needed to be stopped.
We will, Luke, you want to be the deciding vote, and then we'll let the audience decide at the next show. We're talking about Beauty and the Beast, honey.
What were we talking about? No, Beast is the hero. Gaston is not. Anyone who eats like 10 raw eggs in the morning is not a good person.
There you go.
Have you never seen Rocky,
He's
sir?
gonna pull up
Have
Rocky.
you
I was
never
just gonna
seen
say,
Rocky?
I literally.
What are you doing?
You know what's so funny? Right as Luke said that, I saw the wheels turning in James's head of Sylvester Stallone. He was running up the steps in Philadelphia in James's head. I think the hating on Belle because she reads books is a very strong argument for Mando. Also, the knifing in the back. But
you're gonna okay if a giant monster, fang monster that looked like that came at you face
you guys
first.
see what I'm talking about? If we allowed this show to be David and James arguing, it's now 8:40. It's like midnight for Mando. We'd be like 3 a.m. and it would still be like, no, but listen, Gaston has apple cider at his bar in Disneyland. So
Did you like the live action one, or did you like the live action Gaston, or did you prefer the animated one?
I still haven't seen it. I'm generally not a live action watcher of the Disney. Jungle Book was the only one that I really enjoyed. Oh yeah, look at James flex. I mean Jake flexing the Jungle Book.
I love Jungle Book.
I love Jungle Book too, 100%. I'm a Baloo. You know what? If you could take a good character with you to Vegas, Baloo. Me and Baloo kicking it in Vegas. That dude knows how to party.
The guy who voiced him was like an old like Vegas comedian and radio performer. So.
Really, I didn't know that. No.
And actually, fun fact: the guy who voiced him, that was the first time that Walt Disney had ever pulled like an outside celebrity to voice someone. He normally had just pulled in pure voice actors who were associated with Disney. But that was the first time. He was at like some charity show, and the guy who played, or who then would play Baloo, he was doing like a comedy act. And he's like, oh, this guy's great. Let's get him as the bear. And I think some of the people in the company resisted, but he like pushed it, and I'm glad he did. All right, well, that is the Meet the Team episode. Thank you guys. You've all been incredible. I'm excited. I'm excited to have our first show. And if you enjoyed this is kind of going to be what our after parties are going to be. So basically, if you come to the show on the 16th, the first hour is going to be a standard late night talk show. And then if there are things that we didn't get to and the guest wants to stay around, we're going to, right after that, do an after party where the audience can stay. We'll do some extra questions. We'll do a little more like free-form stuff. We'll try to refrain from too many James arguments. But it'll be kind of a fun chopping it around, and then that will be released the following week. Thank you guys so much. I love this. This is the unofficial Disney Tonight Show team. Luke saving the day because I don't have internet, and let me come in here and yeah, stay tuned for that. Sometime in that next show, you better come live because Luke will be telling the craziest Zoom story I've heard, and it's just so beautifully awkward. And
it's pretty traumatizing, actually.
I cannot, I really cannot oversell this story. And I wish, because we're keeping the show clean for the family, I wish I could tell this story on the main show because it's just fantastic. So, but thank you guys. My name's David Studebaker. I will see you guys or hear you. Well, see you, hear you. I guess that's the hard thing with podcasts these days. Because you hear people, you see them. It's on YouTube, it's on Zoom, it's on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Oh, and I'm supposed to say subscribe, rate, and review on all of your podcasting apps and on YouTube. Subscribe on there so you can see our wonderful faces, and that way especially Mando. Well, you can see Mando's wonderful helmet, her amazing nails. Yeah, the nails and the hands. That's why you got to watch it on YouTube. But subscribe on the podcast apps as well, and DisneyTonightShow.com to register for all of our upcoming Zoom shows. Justin Washington is on the 16th. He is a former Disney actor and host, and he worked as a casting coordinator at Disney Studios. He did everything, animation, main studios, even ABC. But he worked there till COVID, and then COVID hit, and like a lot of people, that ended. But He's really talented, really cool, and he worked at the Academy Awards. He's a former stand-up comedian. He's a jack of all trades. So I think it's going to be a really fun episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you next time.